Perfect.
We speaking about respecting everybody. We got to take it to my guy segment. Shout out to my guy Spec. It's called Put Some Respect on My Name.
My name come up, respect. Yeah.
Let's go.
Stop playing with my name.
And that's when my guy Am Bro's gonna let me know if he got respect or speculation, just for a couple of news articles that they got out there. You know what I mean? And this first one, Jay-Z's Made in America was canceled. This is usually done in Philly on a yearly basis, but we seen through our Instagram. I seen it through an Instagram post, but I don't know if they posted it on Twitter, that they just said it's not going to be happening this year. I want to pull up the exact quote. Let me see here. The decision has been difficult and has not been made lightly, nor without immense deliberation. Made in America has a legacy of delivering exceptional experiences for music fans and concert goers. It is our commitment to always deliver a top-tier festival experience. They didn't give a specific reason why, but you know the internet, they like, hold on, wasn't SZA and Lizzo headlining? And is this canceled because Lizzo got a little bit of legalities going on right now? You know what I mean? Going on. And if you don't know out there, you know, Lizzo is being sued by some former dancers. I believe it originally was 3, but I believe a lot others have come forward since then. And I don't know if they're joining the lawsuit or if they're just going to be character witnesses in it. But people are complaining, and it doesn't seem to be going the opposite direction for Lizzo. Like, I still think she could drop a big enough hit and maybe people will forget. But, you know what I mean? We'll see. She's being accused of a lot of things, you know what I mean? Racial discrimination, religious discrimination, weight shaming, you know what I mean? Sexual, I guess, harassment to your workers. So, respect or speculation, you think Made in America was canceled because of Lizzo? Or you think it was because low ticket sales? I guess you could say low ticket sales of Lizzo.
It would be kind of both.
If you already got the low ticket sales and then you got the Lizzo headline on top of it, what's the point? You know what I mean? I don't know though. I think that would have been a good, at least press moment for Made in America. I don't know about Lizzo. Now Lizzo might at some point been like she's gonna back out of it, and then it looks a little nervous. You know what I mean? Because she might not have felt comfortable wanting to stand on the stage, not knowing what's gonna be yelled at her. You know what I mean? There was even, you know, I think a video came out that when Beyonce performed Break My Soul remix, which usually includes Lizzo's name, she had left it out after the allegations had happened. She has since, I think, returned Lizzo's name back into other performances, but it was like, you know what I mean? You kind of can feel like the world's against you. You're like, damn, Beyonce too? You know what I mean? Like, so, would you think it was just a combination of the reasons, low ticket sales and
I would think so. I would say so. Given that information, I mean, I didn't know what was going on with Lizzo too much. I saw that she was being sued, but that's about it.
Oh, okay. You weren't paying attention really to the Lizzo thing?
Nah, my girl like Lizzo.
Yeah.
I'm not onto Lizzo.
I like Lizzo. I think Lizzo's a dope artist. But here's my thing with anybody that makes music, right? And you're a musician, so you could attest to this. Being a great musician and being an asshole, they're not mutually exclusive. Like, assholes make good music. You know what I'm saying? And right. I think we build these people up to be this thing. Like the whole thing with the Lizzo situation that I think got headlines is like, hold on, Lizzo. I thought when people made fun of you, you was the one that, you know, came to everyone's defense and saying this is wrong, this isn't how you should treat people, but how do you look treating people like this? You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like, yeah, Lizzo could be dope in that respect. When she's disrespected, Lizzo could be dope at making music. She could also be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? And she could also not know how to conduct yourself around your employees. You know what I mean? She could also not be used to having employees. You know what I mean? There's a lot that comes with it when you're the name on the marquee. And I don't know, Lizzo it's not looking great, but I also just want to let everything play out, because I didn't like Lizzo because of her personality. That wasn't why I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I liked her music, and I think that can still exist. Now, that's a personal thing, because she's going to face more lawsuits and she don't know how to behave differently if these things are true. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to affect people who are fans of her, if they are or not, because I don't think I think people do come to that understand. Now, if it was maybe something a little bit more criminal, I think, you know, obviously it's easier to turn base on her, but I think Lizzo will bounce back from this. Only time.
Hey, I hope she do. As a fellow artist, I hope she does, because I mean, like you said, like, our personalities are our personalities. You love us because of the music we make.
Exactly.
And, you know, so
how would you handle, I mean, like, luckily I don't know that you've ever faced anything scandalous like that, or maybe in your own community you have. You can let us know if you have.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but how would you defend that if you know that maybe something you did in the past is being brought back up, or, you know what I mean, like a moment of aggression or anger could come back to haunt you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think the best way is for artists to deal with it?
You have to own it, man. Like, because we're always learning and growing. So, you know, if you try to like mask the reason why you did something back when you were younger, when you were still learning, it's just gonna hurt you more than anything else. So just own it.
Yeah.
And explain that you've grown out of that, you know.
I tell my daughter all the time, you make it worse when you add a lie onto a lie, or when you add, you know what I mean, some being bad behavior on a lie onto that. You know what I'm saying? So what I will say, and it's gonna lead us to our next story, but there's nothing wrong with apologizing. If you know you did something wrong, like, people respect that because they know it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you'd be surprised how far an apology gets you. But I don't know if I necessarily agreed with this one. Jamie Foxx had made a post this past week. And the post had said, I want to pull up the exact quote, but it was referring to, you know, how Jesus was betrayed by his friends. And it even included the hashtag fake friends in it. So which led to be a head scratcher because the text, the post was taken as being anti-Semitic. I'll read it to you. He wrote, "They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love." I read that, and I believe you might have taken it the same way as, hey, even the people closest to you that got your back, that you've done things for, can do you wrong. That's how I read it. But it was taken as being anti-Semitic. Now, do I feel like some people were reaching? Do I feel like some people were going out of their way with that? Absolutely. Jamie also apologized because, and I don't necessarily fault him for it, it's not really worth the smoke if he didn't mean it like that. And if someone was offended by it, he's like, yo, let me just say sorry. But what I will say is that by his apology to it, it kind of looks like why people are afraid to apologize, because it looks like an admission of guilt, where I don't think he meant it like that, and I didn't take it as a meaning it like that. His apology said, "I want to apologize to the Jewish community and everyone who was offended by my post. I now know that my choice of words have caused offense, and I'm sorry. That was never my intent. To clarify, I was betrayed by a fake friend, and that's what I meant by they, not anything more. I only have love in my heart for everyone. I love and support the Jewish community, and my deepest apologies to anyone who was offended. Nothing but love always, Jamie Foxx." So I do like that he said it was a fake friend. That's what I was talking about. But like, once again, you got respect or speculation for Jamie Foxx's apology for the post?
Honestly, I got respect for it.
Okay.
And the reason for that, I would say, because I actually did come across that, Jamie works in the Jewish community. Film.
By that, you mean Hollywood, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So there are a lot of Jewish people that he works with.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure your words aren't being misconstrued as like you're saying they control the industry or nothing, like, you know what I mean? Because Kanye has made statements like that about the media, but you're saying he works, his agent might be Jewish, the directors, the actors he's working with,
his co-workers, his bosses at times of contracts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he works in that community and he's cool. Like, he's like part of that community.
Gets along with it. Yeah.
So his message, you know, I respect that he apologized, because that's the majority of the community that's kind of watching him. And, you know, when we come up in the hood or whatever, and we have certain terms, and like, when we reach a certain status, we kind of get, you know, we kind of forget, like, okay, we have to, it's kind of like putting on airs.
They don't understand that. So we kind of got to talk a little bit differently, right? We got to code switch a little bit.
And it's not like to kind of like, you know, water down your blackness or whatever the case may be. It's, if you are a supporter of the LGBTQ plus community, you got to watch what you say too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like,
because they're your friends. You don't want to offend any of your friends.
They're your family. They're your coworkers.
And just because you're not part of that community, like, I'm not going to offend the Black community because I would be offended by anything to the Black community. But like you said, if I have a friend who's in the LGBTQ community, I might not understand all the nuances of what offends them, but I'm at least going to try. And if I do, because that's my homie, I'll be like, I didn't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I sitting here defending a point that that's not what I was standing on.
Like that.
Yeah, nah, let's focus on my fake friend, because that's what I wanted y'all to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
No, I get that. I get that. And I think everything should lead to conversation, you know what I mean? Not cancellation, you know what I mean? And I like that he brought it up. and also I like that he didn't feel the need to have to go on a bunch of TV shows and radio shows to do it. You know what I mean? Because his health is really what he should be focusing on right now. Do I think it was a reach by whoever thought that he did that? Absolutely. Which might have even been done to like hurt Jamie, because like that's just a reach, dog. Like, you know, I would never read that tweet in a million years and think that. And then I think we also got to reach a place where it's like, let's say, what did you mean by that? Let's have the conversations. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just automatically want to cancel somebody.
Right. That's true. I can agree with that.
And it brings me to my next one. You know what I mean? Neo was in a similar situation. Respect or speculation. Neo had made comments about the transgender community. He was doing an interview for Vlad TV, and he criticized parents that allow their children to have a say in their own gender identity. He made here we go, the original interview. He said, if your little boy comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, and you just let him rock with that, he's 5. If you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's going to do that. He can't drive a car yet, but he could decide his sex. I personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman. There were 2 genders, and that's just how I rock. You could identify as a goldfish if you like. I don't care. That ain't my business. It becomes my business when you try to make me play the game with you. I'm not going to call you a goldfish, but if you want to be a goldfish, you go be a goldfish. So he apologized eventually for those comments because, you know, I think they were taken, I won't say taken out of context. I mean, when you use terms like goldfish and things like that, I can see why people would get offended, you know, 100%. But I also, I guess what came later was he was still receiving backlash after the apology. You know what I'm saying? And he doubled down. He was like, yo, now y'all trying to bully me. And he said, this shit is getting out of hand. I will not be bullied into apologizing for having an opinion. He made a video and said he wanted his stance to be made clear from the horse's mouth, not a publicist's computer. He said, I was asked a question and I answered the damn question. I have no beef with the LGBTQIA plus community whatsoever. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that is detrimental to their life. So I don't necessarily, you know, and if you want to, you can elaborate on it, but I'm not really asking your opinions on the transgender community or anything like that. But I feel like if we're dealing with something, whether it's a community that's fairly new or just one that we're not familiar with, should it be allowed if you're in this particular situation? I don't think Neo was saying anything to the effect of they shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be something that happens. I think he was more so leaning like that's an adult decision as opposed to a child decision. I'm not part of that community, so I could never tell a transgender person they'll be okay if they wait till they're 18 years old to do it. Because I don't know if they will or they won't. I don't know what they deal with on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? I can only make decisions for my child, and everyone carte blanche over their own family. You know what I'm saying? What they're going to do. So what I had a problem with was Neo kind of being persecuted for his opinion, because he's allowed to have that opinion as long as he's not saying kill them all, get rid of them all. They're a bane to our existence as a society. He's not saying that at all. He's just saying it's not something I would do. Now, would I use the term goldfish to push that across? No, because I can see where people be like, nah, I ain't listening no more. He's trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? But I think we should be allowed to have opinions, and then from that point on, decide to have conversations if we're gonna. But I don't know, like, I guess respect or speculation for Neo doubling down on he should be allowed to have his own opinion.
I kind of respect it.
Okay.
I kind of respect it. I don't have any kids, but I know when I become a parent, my child can't make these type of decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not until they can understand these decisions.
Okay.
And I feel like a child, I don't know how young, just little, you know, until their brains develop enough to understand what they're actually saying and wanting, it's all on me.
And it seems like you can't please all the people. So trying to win the social media battle is almost silly, because like Dwayne Wade allowed his child, I don't know if they did any surgeries or anything like that, but to identify at least as a different gender that they felt comfortably with. And some people like Boosie had a problem with that. They had something they wanted to say on it. Neo says he's not necessarily something he would do with his kids, and he gets flamed for it. So it's like, you're not going to fall on the right side of this, because it's a split issue. It's something that, you know what I mean, some people fall on the side of support, some people fall on the side of against, and some people are just indifferent to it. You know what I mean? And
I don't think it was an opinion though. It's the way he worded it. I didn't know he worded it like that with the goldfish and stuff. It's your tone. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna speak on something, try to speak with respect.
Yeah, exactly. Because people stop listening if you stop talking with respect. Because then it starts leaning to, oh, is he talking about get rid of them all? Is he talking about they shouldn't exist? You know what I mean? Because then it's a lot easier to paint that picture of you. Yeah. Whereas like I think in the Jamie Foxx thing, it was a little bit more like nuance, where it was like you're reaching. You I see where you kind of would have gone with that, but that seems like a reach. Where Neo, you giving them the reach. You know what I'm saying? You literally put it out there for them to be like, I get you don't agree with it, but you don't gotta be against it. You don't gotta disrespect it. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I agree with that as well.